The magazine I've created is similar to other music magazines such as the Rolling Stones and Q. This is due to the black, white and red colour scheme I've chosen. This is the colour scheme that is often used on rock magazines, as it represents power and danger, which is what a lot of rock music signifies. I also decided to stick with the same colour scheme for my double-page spread to keep the rock theme going throughout my magazine. I decided to use a mid-shot for my cover photo, as this is a professional type of shot and is normally featured on the front of any sort of magazine, as it gives a clear indication of who the artist is. I also decided to use a plain white background for my front cover photo, as I believe this gives a very professionally shot look to it, as well as highlighting the artist on the front of the cover. I decided to stick to conventions of other music magazines by including a bold masthead starting on the top left going all the way across the top, so it would be easily recognised when on the shelves. The genre my group decided to look at was rock, but the subgenre I decided to focus on was pop rock. The main audience of this genre is teenagers, and mainly the female population. So to attract this certain type of audience, I decided to dress my model in typical rock clothing, such as a leather jacket and other quite dark clothes. As this links in well with my colour scheme, it also helps to link my magazine to the audience. This type of audience also likes to shop on the high street, in shops such as Topshop and River Island, so by using clothing from these types of stores, it would also help me to link with the audience. IPC Media is the distributor we would choose to distribute our magazine. This is due to it being one of the UK's highest consumer magazine and digital publishers. It distributes a lot of different types of magazines, such as gardening, sports and home. IPC only distribute one other music magazine, which is NME. NME is a unique multi-platform media proposition, and it reaches out to over 1.1 million music fans every week. Since our magazine would only just be starting out, and by using IPC Media, it would mean the magazine would be given a good reputation, as it would be linked to some of these high-selling magazines. However, due to the target audience of NME being quite different to that of Red Light, it may fit in well due to them targeting different audiences. My magazine is aimed at teenagers between the ages of 16 to 20. Due to some of the more feminine artists I have chosen to feature on my cover, it may appeal more to the feminine population. However, it may attract some of the male population due to some of the more rock-type artists I have featured on the cover, such as Paramore. The audience I have decided to focus on enjoy listening to a lot of music. This is due to them still finding out who they really are, and it means their music has a strong influence on how they want to be portrayed through their actions and the way they dress. They are able to listen to music all the time through the use of iPods, phones, on the television or radio. They also like going to gigs, concerts, to experience the live atmosphere of some of their favourite artists. When creating my front cover, I used a young female artist dressed in typical rock clothes, so she attracts females who may want to be like her or dress like her. This may also attract the male population due to the fact that they may find her attractive. The masthead font we decided to use was Heavyweight. This is a bold, grungy looking font, and we decided to use red as the colour. This helps connote the power, passion and the edgy nature of a lot of rock music. The artist I have decided to place on the cover of my magazine will link in with the pop rock genre I am focusing on. I have used Avril Lavigne, an artist who was once very popular within the pop rock scene, and also including Pink and Paramore, who are very well known in this type of genre. This would attract the audience by using artists they would recognise and want to read about. On the contents page, we will decide to use quite a bold, large font for the main title of the article, and also a small description of what the article may be about. This means that the reader can choose exactly what they want to read and what they don't. Also, on my double-page spread, my article describes in depth about a concert that readers may want to read or hear about before deciding whether to go to see them live or go to one of their gigs or concerts. When finding out our audience research, we went and asked people who are part of our target audience, and we took into account any improvements they gave us about the front covers and double-page spreads we had already created. Before this project, I'd never really used iMovie, but we used this program to create videos for each of our audience researchers. I learned how to crop the videos and also add text and effects to the completed video, this giving us a professional outcome to our research. I was familiar with the program Adobe Photoshop, as I'd used it a few times before, once in my preliminary task. However, my skill set wasn't entirely useful for this type of project we were set. So whilst creating my magazine, I learned a lot more about the different types of tools and became a lot more familiar with the program and its set out. During this project I was introduced to the website Prezi, which allowed me to document my work and create presentations that are a lot more interesting than a simple Word document or PowerPoint presentation. We use this for our front cover and double page spread analysis. I wasn't really that familiar with the website Tumblr, however this was a website that we decided to document our progress and research on. The other people within my group were a lot more confident at first in using Tumblr, however after being helped at the very beginning of the project I became a lot more recognisable with the layout of the website, which made it easier to use by the end. Since creating my very first school magazine in my preliminary task, I have learned how to use Photoshop to create a more professional look to my photographs by highlighting and darkening separate parts of the image. I have also found out where I can and can't place text on the cover and what fonts work best. I also became a lot more familiar with programs that I hadn't used before. This project has allowed me to enhance my presentation skills and let me document research in a more professional way.